I'm going to talk about trends. So I'm an epidemiologist. Pre-COVID, not many people knew what an epidemiologist was. So we deal with data and stats and graphs. I will have a few of those on show today. But I guess what I always like to highlight is behind all those numbers are lives lost and people. So although sometimes we can lose that when we're talking to someone in front of us, you're thinking about the person that you're engaging with. Often in the work that I do, we're thinking about populations. What are the risks? How can we best inform evidence and practice together and turn policy to make those things happen? So I guess it's really important sometimes to highlight that sometimes while I'm talking about populations, we really keep the heart of individuals and families and communities devastated through the loss of suicide at the heart of what we do. So I am going to talk about trends. And what we found was that young people were much less likely to be admitted than males than females. And I was a bit like, well, females are much more likely to take overdoses, they're much more likely to need monitoring in hospital, that's why. It wasn't dependent on method. So that made us think, it's not just that men don't seek help, do we respond differently to men in distress as services than we do to women? And that's where we changed the narrative. We talk about the Samaritans in the UK did a campaign, and instead of all the campaigns like it takes balls to talk, men seek help, it was open up, so men open up, but then services listen up, which you're absolutely doing. So these are the last few. This was just really to highlight that myth. We focus a lot on university students and suicide. And I think some of the reason we do that is policymakers, academics, practitioners, we're all nicely middle class. Our kids are going to university and we're focused on them. But actually, we mustn't forget those young people that don't make it to university where the rates are higher. And we've got to try and reach them. I'm going to whiz through this because I think I've had my 5-minute warning. So, schools. We think a lot about schools. It's a place of huge transition. Post-COVID, but we did this pre-COVID, young people haven't returned to school. In Wales, we've got about 2 or 3% less attend school than did pre-COVID. That's huge on a population level. We know that not attending school, whether it's absence or exclusion or refusal, is associated with poorer attainment, mental health outcomes, early pregnancy, harmful behaviours. In the UK, we used to give people 100% certificates if they came in and punish the young people who didn't come to school. Where we changed that narrative was we showed, so what the top red line shows you is that young people with mental health problems, we measured them up to 24 years old. So anxiety, depression, schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, diagnosed when they were in their 20s, self-harm, substance misuse.
咁我今日想講咧，就係我哋好希望即係話係一個 rethink， 即係我哋好希望，即係我相信就大家喺防止自殺嘅工作裏面都做咗咁耐，亦都做得咁好。咁但係咧就喺成個過程裏面嘅時候，我話仲有冇啲嘢係我哋可以再諗諗即係喺我哋成個即係我哋仲有冇啲 surface gap， 或者仲有冇啲嘢咧係我哋係或者係可以大家係能夠去即係用另一個角度去睇。咁有好多謝阿 Ann John 同埋阿周亮咧，佢成日所講嘅就係其實已經將成個防止自殺嗰個層次咧係已經係提升咗啦，就唔係只係單單我係一個人就有，我唔係只係單單去聽個電話。 其實當我哋睇防止自殺走一個工作時候咧，係可以用一個更加闊嘅眼光、更加大嘅眼光、更加高嘅眼光就去睇。究竟而家我哋25至39歲個群組係發生咩事咧？原來咧就發覺咧就係話，如果喺25至39歲我哋有7.9% 嗰個失業率啦，咁但係喺自殺嗰個群組裏面嘅時候咧係有43.4%。咁即係話咧，如果係呢個係失業嘅時候咧，就對呢一班人嚟講嘅時候咧，同唔失業咧嗰個比較咧，但係有5倍到。咁即係話 Anne 將佢所提嘅一個，亦都有個好有趣問題。當我哋好關心呢個大學生嗰個自殺率嘅時候咧，其實入到大學呢一班人嚟講嘅時候，其實佢嘅自殺率咧已經係比冇入大學嘅咧就為低。By same token 咧，如果我哋睇呢個嘅時候咧，原來當我哋好啱啱咪最近咪有一單即係個係做緊嘢，然後又有係 homicide suicide 嗰個 case， 即係喺 Panda Hotel 就嗰單嘢嘅時候咧，就大家都好擔心，就咪做嘢上面就個問題。但係原來如果你從整體嗰個人口睇咧，仲係咧失業嚟講嘅時候咧，係仍然係一個高風險。所以當我哋喺香港嗰個經濟情況唔係咁好嘅時候咧，失業率不斷高嘅時候咧，其實我哋唔好忘記咧，即係呢一班人咧，其實佢所承受風險係多。嗱，唔係話代表你有份工就唔會死喎。嗱，我哋日日都做想死咁啦，係咪？但係咧都係會死，但係咧你死嗰個風險比起係冇職業嘅咧係就係。
Professor Anne John actually talked about the stigma of suicide, and then she introduced a few concepts. It's actually a slide that is, I don't think she had the time to talk to people and explain. There was a slide saying that youth equal to someone to shift the blame on. I don't think you had the time to explain it, so maybe you would like to explain to them why you miss out that sentence. That sentence means a lot. Anyhow. And then Professor Anne John talks about the university students' self-harm and contagious behavior among those young people. And then Professor Zhou Leung talks about a number of things. And then, but the main issue about his talk was about social integration and social connection. And I was just telling the other audience that Guangzhou did a lot of really amazing initiatives and research, including the community-based participating research, which is actually really difficult to do. So that's one thing that is amazing. And then using the ethical landscape to see how AI is actually shaping and then changing our mindset of the challenges, but the opportunities that we could make use of saving lives in the world. That is amazing.
So in the past, there's a lot of research suggesting that status quo in Hong Kong, where you study, what education background, what school, what kind of education or what kind of resources you got, actually determine how many chances you got into university. So today we have teacher, we have healthcare professional, we have social worker. And Dr. Anna John saying that if the person unable to get to university, the risk of having suicidal thought or suicide action actually really high. In this case, what kind of advice that for people who are unable to get into post-secondary, what else we can do to minimize the impact of the status quo, as well as what else the future directions that we can do or promoting more quote-unquote safer environment for the next generation to grow in Hong Kong. Thank you.
So in Wales and the rest of the UK, thinking about the young people that you've just described, it's about ensuring that there are other opportunities. So, you know, apprenticeship-based learning, having minimum wage, having, we have what we call a universal credit. So it's making sure that those opportunities to gain agency and independence still exist, and that those pathways are viewed with equal merit. So, and I think that's where, so when I think about one of the things that's really changed for young people is when I was younger, I didn't think about my education and my exams as setting me up for the whole of the rest of my life. So when I see all those pressures around, academic pressure, I think, it's almost like we've over-explained the benefits. So we've overemphasized the loss if you're not going to have those benefits. And I think we need to create alternative opportunities for those young people so they don't feel socially excluded and they feel valued, and that they are able to build all those problem-solving skills and have those capacities not to go on to have the vulnerabilities to suicidal behaviours.
I think we can create a multiple pathway. I mean, for those people who are not academically gifted, I mean, to go to the university, but one thing is very sure: for that particular young person, they don't have any ability to change the thing. So we are the people who might be able to offer a chance. So I think there's something that we need to change the system itself that, changing the system is difficult, but in our capacity, if we can somehow offer an opportunity for these young people, I think even if he didn't go to the university, you offered him a job or something, give him something that I think that means something to them. I think that is very important. No? So I always say when we talk about the student suicide, I think one thing, if we only talk about if they have problem, how do we address this problem? If you do not look at the core problem is the young people, they do not have enough choices, they do not have much opportunity. If they did not get to the university, I think they will have very limited social mobility. I think these are the problems. So we can see Hong Kong is developing, but there are certain group of people, they are being left behind. We have forgotten them. So I think that's something that, as a policymaker, we have to look at this. When you bring in more students from outside, can we create more opportunity, I think, for the local young people? Come on. So I think that is something that we can do something, right?
最近啦，亦都我哋譬如義工方面，我哋係有一個嘅 Mental Health First Aid 嘅計劃啦，咁我哋舉辦咗2屆嘅，就係俾義工佢哋即係可以早一步認識，即係究竟當身邊嘅人係有需要嘅時候，我哋可以做啲乜嘢嘢去幫助咧咁樣樣。咁另外咧，定期評估服務成效，收集服務使用者嘅意見咧。咁我哋其實每一個我哋嘅計劃咧，都有一個評估嘅，我哋都有進行評估，不論係一開始一個計劃開始前嘅評估，同埋完成咗之後，亦都會再做一個評估。咁呢啲資料對我哋嚟講都好重要嘅，俾我哋可以去即係不停做嘅時候，我哋可以有一個進步嘅。同埋亦都睇下使用者方面，佢哋會唔會有啲咩特別嘅需要，我哋以後一路嘅時候咧，可以更加做到一啲可以令到我哋使用者覺得係對佢哋係有用嘅嘢。好啦，關於鼓勵協作方面咧，其實就我哋頭先都講啦，其實我哋自己一個機構，我哋實在係做唔晒所有嘅嘢嘅。譬如啦，由嗰個青少年我哋嗰個 YSPSP 個計劃開始啦，最初開始嘅時候其實好細型嘅，咁後嚟慢慢嘅時候，我哋見到原來有啲其他嘅需要，或者我哋有資源可以去擴大嗰個計劃嘅時候，咁我哋就一路個計劃就一路發展上去，咁而亦都後嚟去到最後嘅時候，點樣由呢一個青少年嘅計劃，而家後尾就發展成一個跨代嘅計劃，咁亦都係即係好需要。真係各方面嘅幫助，除咗義工啦，除咗後尾我哋有同事啦，咁跟住前線嘅人員啦，咁亦都好多係業界嘅其他人士啦，亦都係我哋專業人士啊嗰啲咧，咁就令到一個計劃其實可行咯。
我又想問下在座有邊個你係需要照顧老人家嘅？有冇啊？ 都有喎，係啦，咁啊多謝你啊！今日咁你點啊？你個老人家有人幫手照顧，咁啊自己可以抽身出嚟，咁啊好好啊，有啲 me time 嘅時間。咁啊，因為我哋都發覺咧，其實照顧者都好需要即係自己一啲時間。咁啊係啦，我哋就 target 全港啦，咁啊去揾一啲有需要嘅護老者出嚟啦，咁樣。咁啊，我哋上年10月開始 project，咁啊過去半年嘅時間啦，咁我哋就接觸咗900幾個護老者，咁啊透過洗樓嘅工作啦，或者係透過一啲嘅我哋活動裏邊咧，仲有啲問卷調查，咁啊包括我哋用咗幾個量表嘅，即係沙士照顧量表啦，有PHQ4 啊、PHQ9啊，咁就去到睇翻佢哋照顧嘅壓力同埋一個情緒嘅狀況。咁啊我哋總共就收到即係有效嘅問卷咧，就完成咗942份。咁咧就女性比較多啲嘅，就佔咗80%啦。咁啊年齡方面咧，咁就55歲以上就佔咗60%啦咁樣。咁啊在職咧都在職同埋唔在職其實差唔多，即係喺我哋接觸到嗰900幾個人裏邊。咁而照顧時數咧，我哋就分20個鐘以上以下啦。咁啊都係接近啦個比例。咁啊發現到啲乜嘢咧？咁樣喺900幾個人裏邊咧，原來都有成差唔多40%咧，都係屬於一個高負荷，即係佢會覺得自己係好高壓力啦，即係喺照顧嘅過程裏邊，即係佢係覺得係辛苦嘅咁樣。咁而喺呢30幾個%嘅人裏邊咧，即係講緊係300幾人啦，咁有40%咧，佢係高負荷得嚟，再加埋有抑鬱焦慮嘅情況添嘅。咁啊，即係都好容易理解，就係話，當佢去到咁大壓力嘅時候，其實已經開始出現一啲 symptom 啦，又抑鬱又焦慮啦。咁而再喺呢一班即係高負荷裏邊，我哋再睇就係又有高負荷，又有抑鬱焦慮，再加埋會唔會有啲有自殺傾向咧？因為我哋做預防自殺最關心就係佢會唔會已經諗到一個想死咧？原來都有17%。咁所以咧，其實我哋都好睇到就係其實照顧者壓力好大啦。我諗大家都好有同理心，就係即係久不久又聽到一啲唔開心嘅新聞咁樣。咁所以我哋都睇到原來社區裏邊都有一班好有需要嘅人咁樣。
我哋絕對唔係淨係 train 啲學生咯，係啦，因為其實全間學校嘅所有唔同嘅工作嘅崗位咧，其實都好需要一齊出一分力啊，好一齊合作咧，先可以提升學生嘅精神健康嘅。咁所以咧，你會見到我哋其實 school teacher 咧，我哋主要就係其實佢哋亦係另一個好重要嘅中介角色嚟嘅喎，係啦。雖然老師都好大壓力啦，其實我哋都有數據知道，其實老師嘅自殺率係幾多，不過今日就冇擺出嚟啦，係啦。但係唔低嘅，係啦，同全港嘅其他職業比，其實算係高嘅。咁頭先都有講照顧自己先照顧其他人啦，係啦。但係點樣照顧自己開始咧？我哋都會搞一啲 teacher workshop 嘅，係啦。其實教老師咧一啲精神健康嘅知識都好重要嘅。咁唔係個個老師都識噶嘛。雖然你參加我哋 project 好多都係輔導組老師啦，係啦，已經好熟悉啦。但係有啲學校咧都會 encourage 可能其他科嘅老師咧嚟參加我哋嘅計劃啦，咁了解下多啲精神健康方面嘅知識啦，係啦。
我哋並唔係從一個話假設一個好健康嘅個人嘅意識。譬如話咧，如果我係自殺嘅話，可能望住我呢位 worker 咧，會覺得我一定係有啲功能失調，有一啲我可以 make a better option，然後嘗試去同我做一個矯正性嘅一個 intervention。咁但係正正就係咧，語言咧其實本身係一個唔穩定嘅一個即係系統嚟嘅。我哋自身語言，譬如我哋呢一刻嘅互相交流嘅機會咧，都係透過語言。我哋好似一種約定俗成、一種約定嘅方式咧，去令我哋好似好互相理解到。譬如我係一個 speaker，你哋係一個聽眾，你哋有你哋嘅 profession， 我哋交流。但呢樣嘢本身唔穩定嘅。點解喺我哋欠債情況下，或者可能俾人發現出軌、情傷，會整個人嘅 meaning system 咧會係瓦解咗咧？因為 meaning 本身係唔穩定嘅。咁我哋就係嘗試咧去將呢個 meaning 喺自殺之前就解構咗佢。咁令到 clinicians 咧可以有一個好 flexibility 去面對唔同 client 咧，都唔會係一種好固定話你一定要生存嘅方式。大概了解到咧，就係話呢種喺3種類型裏邊咧，咁一般你哋可能會見到適當嘅服務啦，即係佢 boundary 會維持咗嘅，唔會話太多去破壞啦。關係型裏邊咧，咁就會係高度嘅一種依賴性啦，係啦。咁而 melancholia 裏邊咧，佢哋揾唔到佢嘅好多時都係啦。咁跟住拯救倫理方面咧，基本啦係啦，即係分開兩邊基本，唔好過度去做啦。慎用意思係話咧，有啲情況係好似好危險咧，要再考慮一下，同督導傾下係咪真係要去做一個拯救嘅倫理。 咁呢個就係一個危險情況，就要主動啦。咁然後就全部都盡量做。咁點解呢個盡量呢？因為好多時佢可能去解決完個問題，佢就唔想同你有一個 counseling 關係嘅，就會離開嘅。咁所以都未必會做到好多咯。但係呢兩個呢，咁我哋如果後來真係有啲 further 嘅 publication 呢，係主要想講呢兩樣嘢點樣去工作，點樣去將個網呢編製翻喺關係嘅結構裏邊，令佢承受到失落嘅感覺，令佢知道呢，透過 therapist 咧，知道 therapist 有其他嘅慾望喺第二度，而唔一定喺佢嗰度嘅。therapist 咧關注嘅係只有一樣嘢，就係佢嘅言説，佢慾望係乜嘢，而唔係關注佢呢好似一個客體咁，佢咪活着嘅問題，係佢作為一個主體活着嘅問題，而唔係一個客體活着嘅問題。所以我哋點解要去將客體主體分得咁清楚，將生嘅衝動、死嘅衝動分得咁清楚呢？就係為咗我哋有個倫理要盡量做到最好。呢個可以留意我哋未來嘅 publication。
因為我哋留意到呢，我哋想講嘅係有一個咧自殺者親友嘅共同體。佢嘅意思係講緊，我哋啱啱提到好多嘅污名呢，其實唔一定所有嘅親友呢，佢哋都會親身經歷過，可能係源自於佢哋細個嘅時候嘅成長啦、教育啦、文化氛圍，令到佢哋其實未必真係實際感受過呢啲嘅污名，但係其實佢哋彷彿好似覺得個社會係有呢一件事，而同樣地都受緊污名嘅影響。第二個情況呢，係講緊其實佢哋聽到嘅污名呢，有時候未必係講自己嘅喎，佢哋可能聽到外界施加對於其他自殺者親友嘅污名，佢哋都同樣都會身同感受，覺得自己再次經歷咗呢啲嘅污名。而除咗對自殺者親友嘅污名之外呢，其實親友對本身自殺呢件事嘅污名呢，同樣都會加劇緊佢哋會唔會受到更加多負面嘅影響。咁我諗今日呢度好多專業嘅人士，我諗大家都可能要再諗一層，就係當我哋同親友接觸呢，其實要問嘅唔單止係佢哋有冇真係面對緊呢啲污名，而係究竟佢哋點樣感受緊呢個社會帶俾佢嘅影響呢？亦都再次突顯咗其實我哋做好多唔同嘅自殺預防工作，其實社會上面嘅教育呢，亦都相當之重要。第二個要分享嘅現象呢，其實係講緊親友點樣去睇污名呢件事。好多親友呢，其實佢哋都喺自殺事件最常聽到就係話，點解你唔好好睇住佢啊？點解會搞成咁樣㗎？咁而喺親友分享翻嚟呢，其實呢啲嘅點解對佢哋嚟講呢，係變成咗一個責備嘅污名，彷彿佢哋都要為呢件事呢承擔翻責任。咁而另一種嘅污名係講緊一啲尋根究底式嘅追問，而呢啲嘅尋根究底呢，對佢哋嚟講，其實就好似追究緊親友嘅責任呢，去逼佢哋講出其他人心目中嘅答案。而親友最擔心嘅就係好似要逼緊佢哋自己講，其實係我嘅責任要承擔而家嘅情況。
喺你哋嗰個嘅服務入邊啦，或者係經驗入邊啦，其實照顧者佢 commit suicide 呢個情況嗰個狀況會係點嘅咧？咁樣想聽多少少啦。
而喺我哋實際嘅經驗裏邊睇到就係其實佢哋好多時咧就係佢哋都俾自己好大壓力，就係因為好多時就係嗰個即係照顧嗰個重擔咧，就加諸喺佢哋身上。即係我頭先講一個例子，就係我哋試過有啲 family 就係即係幾個兄弟姊妹咁樣，咁佢就你唔使做嘢，你冇結婚，咁梗係你照顧阿媽，你照顧阿爸㗎啦。咁就所以咧就將嗰個重擔就推咗俾佢。又或者我哋遇過啲 case 咧，就係阿哥家姐移咗民。咁啊，仲要做1-2個禮拜先通知，跟住咁啊走晒去，咁剩翻香港嗰個咁香港嗰個去負責啦。咁但係所以佢哋就承受緊好大壓力啦。再加埋就係我哋都遇過有一啲嘅個案咧，咁就係其實佢本身同個老人家其實有啲我哋叫恩怨情仇啦，即係可能佢諗翻就哇細個佢對我都唔係幾好嘅啫喎，做咩而家我要照顧佢咧咁樣？即係有好多嘢佢都過唔到自己個關咯咁樣。咁所以即係好多樣嘢加埋埋，再加埋可能個時間又長，或者係即係個老人家確實係一啲即係有啲即係可能有啲厭惡性嘅嘢又要處理啊各樣，咁令到佢真係好大壓力啦咁樣。
譬如話倫理學裏邊，我哋可能要去做嘅一樣嘢係，我哋都要做多啲公眾嘅教育喎，我覺得喺呢一方面，同埋即係其實大家其實要學識發現一樣嘢係你哋諗緊嘅所謂嘅孝義，唔需要一定要畫一個等號，同某一種嘅行動係即係等於咗呢一個行動。你唔做呢個行動就唔係孝順㗎啦咁樣。咁即係其實我講，如果我話孝順， 我請一個比我更叻去照顧你嘅人都可以好孝順㗎，其實即係可以係咁樣去即係 free 翻自己，其實係唔需要去框住自己係咁樣去諗嗰件事咯。咁所以我覺得呢個好重要嘅。其實講到尾，其實一個文化有好多時候一啲所謂嘅倫理啊、傳統啊，慢慢隨住呢個時間佢會一路變嘅。但係去到我哋今時今日嘅香港，原來我哋有呢一個咁樣嘅文化，所以我哋反而要反問嘅係，我哋呢個文化有冇啲咩問題呢？係啊，其實係要問呢個問題啊嘛。咁如果我哋覺得，呢啲咁樣嘅文化好似唔係咁好喎，對於女性尤其是係非常之唔公平喎，我哋其實係要出聲，同埋係要嘗試去改變咯。我覺得呢一件事，咁當然即係每一個我哋今日在座呢一度嘅，其實都係非常之有心嘅人，我哋其實都可以做一啲嘢，同埋去點樣將呢啲嘅 idea 話俾我哋，更加俾我哋後生嘅人聽，因為佢哋未來係屬於佢哋㗎嘛，其實。